What's going on, guys? I'm at the coffee shop about to head out, but I just did a video talking about the human rights issues in North Korea, and the book I really recommend, highly recommend, I've talked about it a lot on Facebook, is called Escape from Camp 14 by Blaine Harden. That is the best book written ever on the human rights situation in North Korea, to specifically address the concentration camp issues. I recommend people read Escape from Camp 14 by Blaine Harden. That addresses the situation very well. Okay. I know there have been human rights abuses in South Korea in the past, okay? That's one reason I go, and I remind people of that. It's one reason I go to Gwangju often and talk about the Gwangju Massacre. Happened May 18th, 1980. And I highly recommend, if you're in South Korea, you need to go to the 518 Memorial Cemetery at least once. But if you go like I do, you won't regret going, number one, but you'll also feel like one time's not enough and you need to keep going and going to pay your respects. Okay, I'm aware that happened. I also know after that happened, Chun Doo-hwan, he was general at the time. He became president of South Korea for 7 years. He put 40,000 people in purification camps for 7 years. 500 of them died. But that's 40,000 versus 200,000 to 300,000 that are 200,000 to 300,000 people that are living in the North Korean concentration camps today. 500 South Koreans died in the purification camps. Over 1 million North Koreans have died in the concentration camps. Also, Chun Doo-hwan kept to his promise, and between 1980 and 1987, he did step down, and South Korea had democratic elections. The first democratically elected president was General Roh Tae-woo, and then the first civilian elected president was Kim Yong-sam in 1992. And I don't hide that there were human rights abuses in South Korea. It happened. That's one, particularly in Jeolla province. But the human rights abuses in North Korea have just been way worse. Yeah, and it's very, very, and it's, very difficult to say because you don't condone human rights abuses anywhere. But the human rights abuses in North Korea had just been way worse. During the Korean War, North Korea cuffed a lot of prisoners of war. They handcuffed them in barbed wire. And then after they handcuffed them with barbed wire, with the barbed wire cutting at their wrists like it did, then they shot some of the prisoners in the back of the head. That's just one of the many atrocities they committed. Also, during the Korean War in Seoul, a hospital in Seoul, they exterminated a lot of South Korean civilians and soldiers. An hospital in Seoul when they took Seoul the first time from South Korea. Everybody just needs to listen to Shin Dong-hyuk. He was born in Camp 14. He escaped from Camp 14. Everybody needs to listen to his testimony. And it is a very good book. I highly recommend it. Escape from Camp 14 by Blaine Harden. Anyway, hope everybody's doing well. And take care. And God bless. And bye-bye. Bye-bye.